Welcome back to Dynasty Circle Podcast. I am your excited host, Nick Z, over here in the lovely city of Boston with my very good friend, Jason, in the lovely suburb of the city of Chicago.
Very true.
Yes, I love to hear it. So, Jason, we're going to get right down to business today. Cold open question of the week time. Can you please show the camera your wonderful shirt today? So, for those that do not know, that is a Wu-Tang. It's being caught in the there you go. Perfect. So what's very funny is you wore that shirt, and on our pre-show meeting, I said that's perfect for the cold open question of the week. This is one of the harder cold open questions of the week. It was inspired by so you know Action Bronson, correct?
Yep.
So I saw a tweet today. He has Barry Bonds statistics tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
So then my original question was going to be, what statistics would you get tattooed on you? But I didn't. I'm not going that. I want you to tell me your favorite rap line that incorporates a baseball player. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Jason, I'm sorry for such a tough question on this lovely evening, but what do you got?
Yeah, this one actually took me a minute to think about, and then I remembered the old classic that I've been quoting for, I don't know, for maybe at least 15 years now. I don't know exactly the title of the song, but there's a Beastie Boys song that goes, I got mad hits like I'm Rod Carew. So That's what I got for you.
Perfect. Mine slightly newer. Wu-Tang. Yes, Jamie. He is about that life. What's good, Jamie? So mine, by one of my rap Mount Rushmore people, which would be Lil Wayne. Unsure if you're a Wayne guy. I'm
somewhat.
Not
a huge Wayne fan, but I like a few songs.
So he had a mixtape back when I was in high school called No Ceilings, which he goes over other people's beats, and he does a phenomenal job, if we're being completely honest. Okay. This one was Swag Surf, so it was Swag Surfing. I'm not gonna edit it because I don't have to, so that's great. Stunt hard on these bitches. I ain't promised tomorrow. Now woman kicking it with me like Nomar Garcia Parra.
Oh, that's right up your alley, man.
It was right up my alley. It was great. Speaking of Nomar, I don't know if you saw in the news, someone came out and was like, autistic people can't play baseball. And then a lot of people were just showing Nomars. They were like, yeah, playing this. So Nomar's been in the news. Love Nomar. Socks. But yeah, I'm going with Nomar there.
This is a good transition because I have a question for you. Yeah. Speaking of the Red Sox, I know we talk about this a little bit off air, but we do play MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Have you unlocked the David Ortiz card?
All right, Jason, people are not going to care about this. My team left, so I have Mayer at short, Campbell at second, Ortiz at DH, Manny in left, Duran in center, Anthony in right. That is currently, and Bregman at third. So, yes, I'm well on my way. I think I have fully collected all of the Red Sox.
Okay.
I've actually done like 8 teams because I send you when I pull random diamonds.
Yeah.
And I sell them. So then I just bought a bunch of cards that I don't use. But that's what's so hard is I play with guys I like, not guys that are like great.
Right.
So like my backup shortstop is Ellie De La Cruz. He's better than Marcelo Mayer, but he's not Marcelo Mayer. So
I just wanted to give a shout out to how amazing that David Ortiz card has been for me. I mean, lefty on righty matchup. I mean, the dude just like a double machine over a home run machine every time. I think I want to say I'm batting like it's easily floating in the 450 to 550 range. That's with like a couple, like probably close to like 100 to 200 plate appearances.
Yeah, and my catcher is the Veritek card.
Nice.
Any switch hitting catcher, love that.
Yeah.
All right.
My catcher is a little bit of a like a soft spot in my lineup, but that's another topic for our MLB episode, MLB the Show episode. This week we're checking in. It's been about 4 weeks now of your fantasy baseball season. We're getting right now. Things are starting to jump off. We're getting into things are warming up. Games are getting actually played and not rained out and things like that. So we got some data samples to talk about and so far about the rookies. See how they're performing. Go through a few here. I think we got about 6 to 8 guys to talk about here. Where we are on them. Are we buying in on this? Well, not just from a dynasty perspective, but also more or less like a redraft league. Are you stashing these guys? Obviously, for most of these guys, I don't know why you wouldn't stash these guys in your dynasty league, but it's worth talking about their outlook as a dynasty asset. So I think we'll just jump right in here and talk about one of your boys we just briefly talked about, and that's Kristian Campbell of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah. I have one quick thing.
Yeah.
The banner before this was wild, and the fact that you made that is crazy to me.
Why?
Who's rising and who's busting?
I didn't even think
I just as like you were talking just then, I read it.
I made that like last night at like midnight. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
Well, you know what? Kristian Campbell busting for sure, my man. No, Campbell, rookie of the year, book it. Unbelievable poise at the plate. He's getting on base. One thing, if I'm going to complain, and this is not his fault, his numbers when he's playing center field are brutal, and I have no idea why. He's the same player, but there's no reason, especially because we also kind of touched on this before the show. They're so deep in outfield that their best outfielder, like overall, is in AAA.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the point in putting Campbell in center at all. So I would just keep him out of there. His splits between center and second base are like jarring, and it makes no sense at all. But yeah, I don't know if you saw. So do you know who Felger and Maz are? Like, have you heard about them or no?
No.
So they're like,
thing?
They're like the hot take Boston people, right? They're like radio show. I listen. They're entertaining, but after the first game, Maz was just like, he's not ready, send him back to AAA.
Okay.
And then I think the next day he hit a home run, and the Red Sox account just did like, in quotes, he's just not ready to play. And then MLB account did the same thing. This guy, it's crazy how much it's the meteoric rise, I believe they would call it. Like, we weren't even speculating that this guy was even remotely a thing this time last year, and he exploded, busted. And he's just been unbelievable to watch. He's the guy that you want up when there are people on base, because he seems to be coming through in every moment he can. So I'm all in. I fully get I'm the Sox homer here, but Jason, what say you?
As a non-Sox homer, throw some numbers at you right now. He's batting .305, on base of .412, slugging .474. So almost has that 3-4-5 slash line that you love to see. 3 home runs, 17 runs scored already, 10 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and he's got a walk minus K rate of it's like just shy of 8%. That's because he's walking 16% of the time right now. One thing I did notice was like not too concerning, but I feel like you might see a little bit of a regression. He's got a BABIP of like 415 right now, so I could see a little bit of the contact skills, or the contact approach coming down a little bit as far as especially the batting average, maybe more like a 280 hitter, 290 hitter. But I mean, you take that all day, especially from second base. You're putting him in your second base slot in your fantasy league. Yeah, I think when we talked about like this in the off, like before the season started, would you rather have Kristian Campbell or Roman Anthony? And I believe I was on the Anthony side, and I'm actually kind of upset that I didn't jump in on this Campbell earlier, because I kind of passed on him. I don't have many shares of him in redraft. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it just gets only the beginning right now. I think we're gonna see him more. The power's awesome to see, 3 home runs. And I mean, if you look at the spray chart, look at those home runs. I mean, those are not any cheap shots. Those are deep home runs. Yeah. And yeah, the walk rate's up in the 93rd percentile of the league. So that's what you really like to see as he approaches the plate for the rookies. He's not, I mean, he's still striking out 26% of the time, but is also walking 16% of the time. So really good numbers there at the approach to the plate. The chase rate is awesome. So he's not like just like a lot of the swing and miss stuff is coming in the zone, which you'd love to see, especially for a rookie. Yeah, all in on Kristian Campbell, for not just redraft, but for Dynasty as well, obviously. And wheels up for Kristian Campbell.
Yeah, I'm so excited about him. Mostly because he was the comp pick for Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, love that.
It's perfect. It's like, and like, again, this is a Heim guy. He saw this, and now we're just kind of reaping the benefits of it, which is fine. But he's great, and it just feels awesome to just have second base locked up for the next. And we got the extension done. So, yeah, all in on Campbell. Very excited. I'm honestly surprised at how well he's been playing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's go to another guy here, and this guy's a little bit not much to talk about in this guy, but we'll still bring him up because he's worth talking about. That's Nick Kurtz of the Athletics. Right now, only 6 games in, so super small sample size. Sorry, 5 games, 6 games tonight. He is striking out almost 50% of the time because he struck out 17 of his first 16 at bats. He does have 4 hits, 3 RBIs, but no home runs or extra base hits yet. Again, super small sample size. The strikeouts still are a little bit alarming for him because he's a big power guy, left-handed bat for the Athletics. But we've seen that stadium now produce a ton of runs. Again, small sample size to judge on Nick Kurtz right now, but it's worth mentioning because he's obviously one of the biggest stash prospects for redraft coming into tonight. So not too much to report on Nick Kurtz, but I think in the way the title's going, he will be busting soon.
Yeah. I'm also slightly worried about the I don't believe he's faced a lefty, but I don't think they're starting him against lefties. So that's, I don't want to say like a concern, but it's something that I would monitor.
Yep.
Just because he is young, so they might be treating with a little bit of kid gloves here. And the A's, honestly, have been like a fun team to watch, mostly because of that stadium. But even like the pitching hasn't been bad there, and I think the A's might be onto something when it comes to the next like 5 years. So I'm excited to see what Kurtz does. I would not be surprised if he gets sent down at some point if it doesn't start to click, just because at-bats are more important than exposure in the MLB. Like him sitting on the bench against a lefty isn't going to help him develop hitting lefties unless it's at the minor league level. So it almost might hurt Kurtz if that the A's are like not abysmal because they can't really afford to lose games. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I think he's going to be fine long-term. I would, if he gets sent down, I would probably cut him in redraft leagues.
Yeah. I think the Athletics are at like 500 right now, or maybe like a game or 2 under. So they're definitely exceeding expectations right now. And I think a lot of it is from these young guys that are finally getting a chance to play. So I love to see that. One thing Athletics have always done well is that's draft and develop talent. The only problem is they just trade it away the minute they become good. That's always been what the Athletics do. You can go up and down the roster from the last like 10 years and look at the guys that they've traded away. I mean, from Matt Chapman to Matt Olson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The minute they've developed a good guy and bring him up, he starts performing, they trade him off. So love to see what they can do with Nick Kurtz here. I'm not dropping him at the moment in redrafts. I am stashing him in any redraft. You can get your hands on him, even in shallow leagues. I'd even go in like a 10-team league. I'd probably stash him if I had the roster flexibility. I think the power is that legit. So another reason why Athletics are performing so well, and maybe giving Kristian Campbell a run for his money, is that rookie of the year is Jacob Wilson of the Athletics. The approach at the plate has been crazy. But if you look at the slash line, it's 321, 333, 459, 3 home runs, 16 runs, 14 RBIs, 1 stolen base. Get this, he's got a shocking 2% walk rate. And what's even more shocking, he's only striking out 5% of the time. And I saw the other day when I was watching the game, up until last week, he had never even gotten into a 3-ball count. And he just drew his first walk. He just drew his first walk over the weekend.
Dude just loves to swing.
He's up there to swing. He's up there to hit the ball, and he's hitting it great. And he's been more than, everyone was – he was a late-round flyer in a lot of redrafts. And sometimes he wasn't even being drafted, I don't think, depending on some leagues. But he's been great. More so as far as like just like a contact hitter. Like, he's not going to have a lot of power, not going to have a lot of speed, but he's going to get on base. He's going to drive in those runs when he gets the chances. I love Jacob Wilson. I actually got him as the waiver wire pickup in a couple of shallower leagues, redraft leagues. I unfortunately don't have him in any dynasty leagues, which I wish I did, because he's turning out to look like a stud.
Yeah, he's great. He actually, so last year he had 7 home runs through 3 levels of minor league ball, and he currently has 3 in how many games? Or 112 at bats. Or plate appearances. So the home runs are coming. If you can get 10, 15 home runs out of him, absolute. I would take that like 10 times out of 10. I don't think the average is sustainable as like 320 plus, but if you can get him at like 275, 300, it's still a great value for where you got him. And I even think that this profile, the like 10 home run guy, it's going to be cheap like next year too, because I just think there are a lot of other options at shortstop, but he's going to be someone that we talk about next year as that late, like mid to late round shortstop that you can wait on and still get some great production out of it.
Yeah, love it. All right, let's get before we get into some more names. Let's talk about some business real quick. Let's sign up to become a member today at FantasySixPack.net. All access members get great content anywhere from joining our Discord and getting customized league advice, any of your custom questions answered on that Discord. You get access to all of our rankings, our rest of season rankings, dynasty rankings, prospect rankings. You can get all that today by becoming a all access member at FantasySixPack.net/plans. All right, we talked some hitters. Let's talk some pitchers. First guy here is Kumar Rocker. Again, another one of those popular names coming into the season. So far, he's made 5 starts. Just been very middling of a outcome so far. Is only striking out 16% of batters faced. He's got an 8.1 ERA and is only stranding 54% of the base runners. And really, only 2 of the outings were decent. The other 3 were awful. One of them was really good, but that was against the Angels. Other than that, he just looked very subliminal. Someone that I'm just not in on. Even when he was drafted, him and Leiter, it was like, who's going to be better, right? Rocker or Leiter. And even coming into this year, both of them made the rotation out of spring training, mostly because of injuries. But now Leiter's hurt, but Leiter's back. But so far, I just have not seen anything too promising on a Rocker. And I think a lot of it is just like, a lot of these guys, they dominate the college level, and then they come up and actually start facing hitters that can hit fastballs and changeups, and then this is what happens.
Yeah, this kind of just is who he is, though. The like inconsistent will show flashes that make you be like, oh my God, this guy's gonna break out. This guy's gonna break out. This guy's gonna break out. And obviously not saying that like his career is over, but put him in the bullpen, see what happens. The Rangers always seem to be looking for a closer, and they might have had one this whole time. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see. I feel like we just got a phantom IL stint. So wouldn't be surprised if we see him pitch out of the bullpen for a bit, especially once like these. I think John Gray, he might already be back, but like the Rangers are getting some pitchers back soon, and they're going to have to make some decisions. Leiter has been decent. Like you said, he did just get off the DL. It was a blister issue, so I'm not too worried about that. But this is someone that I am avoiding like the plague.
Yeah. Again, he kind of relies on, he throws all 5 of his pitches, but he relies too much heavily on the slider sinker combo, and that's just not a good mix at the major league level. It's all getting hit pretty hard right now. His hard hit rate is really bad. It's 50% of the time his hard hit rate. The barrel's at 12%, so you can just see here it's just down at the bottom 10th of the league. The only thing he's really got going right now is he throws the ball hard and doesn't walk people. Other than that, everything's getting hit hard. I think you're right. I think he needs maybe not long, but he needs to go to the bullpen, fix some things. Because I think that the 2-pitch mix also correlates itself better to the bullpen than it does the starter. Maybe he needs to go back and kind of like fine tune the changeup and see if maybe he can kind of develop a 3rd pitch more where he can rely on that more heavily to get strikeouts. But as of right now, he's not striking anybody out. He's not fooling anybody. And I might even, depending on what's on the waiver, I would probably drop him in redraft leagues too.
Yeah.
Again, the starting pitching market's pretty bleak on the waiver wire. So again, it depends on who you got out there. But for redraft leagues, I'd probably drop Kumar Rocker for now, unless you can hold him for some reason if you have the roster flexibility, or if there's somebody better out there, then definitely drop him for that. All right, from Kumar Rocker, we'll go on over here now to Jackson Jobe, someone who's, the many people's top pitching prospect for the last 2 years now. Really rose prospect ranks last year, especially had a really good 2024 season in the minors. This year now, at the major league level, got the job out of spring training. He's been good, but not great. Kind of similar to Kumar Rocker, in his 4 starts so far, he does have a 2.7 ERA, but it's kind of just like smoke and mirrors right now. He's only striking out 17% of the batters. He's walking 12%. And really the biggest thing has been the Tigers' defense. They've really been helping him out. If you look at his, a little bit of advanced metrics here, his FIP, fielder independent pitching, that's a 4.46 ERA. His expected ERA is 3.99. So he's pitching his real ERA is 2 runs better than what he really should be pitching. A lot of that's getting to the defense. Similar to Kumar Rocker, he's only throwing off 5 pitches, but he's really only relying on the 2-pitch mix of fastball slider, which account for, again, 62% of his pitching mix. Of the pitches thrown so far have been slider, fastball. Can't really do too much with the 2-pitch mix as a starting pitcher. I want to be in on Jobe. I really do. I was hesitant as he was coming up to the minors. A lot of people kept, jumping him up to the number 1 pitching prospect in baseball. I just don't know if he's going to be that true ace. I could see him maybe more like an SP2 or 3 as a ceiling. I don't know if he's that ace anymore.
Yeah, he's fine. If we're going a binary scale of 0 and a 1, he's a 1, but it's nothing that's really crazy. I'd take him over Rocker, obviously, but yeah. I think he could be one of those guys that next year we get late and get what we think he's still 22. So
yep.
I think going into next year, he's going to be a great value later in drafts.
So this is funny because I had put a Dynasty spin on this. I had a offer come in. I was kind of competitive, and then I've had a lot of injuries and a lot of guys have fallen off lately. And I got offered Jackson Jobe for Sale and Arenado. And I was like, it's not bad, but I would like a little bit more just because this was like right before the season started. You know, Sale's coming off arguably a Cy Young. Yeah. And so I ultimately haven't gotten the deal done yet because I just wanted a little bit more than just Jackson Jobe for those two. But now I'm kind of, after there's been a few starts, I'm like, man, maybe I should have just taken that trade.
Yeah.
With it.
I probably would have.
I don't Sale's kind of been, just kind of falling flat lately. They've been kind of taking him slowly. I think they kind of want to ease him in and make sure that he's around for the long run. And Atlanta's been bad too. So I don't know what's been going on with Sale, but I kind of regret that not making that deal. I mean, at the time, it's always hindsight's 2020, right? At the time, I was like, man,
send it to him again, and hopefully,
I might. I was hoping to wait another week or two and see if Sale can rebound. So here's my counter. What I wanted was Jobe and Jarlin Susana from the Nationals. Yeah, the pitching prospect.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't get it done. I think he was probably trying to sell low on, and then probably sell high on Jobe too because he hadn't made his major league debut yet. So
yeah.
At the time, I probably should have made the deal, but what we can do? Well, I'll wait another week or two, and I'll circle back on it and let you know what happens.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next guy here, and it's Cam Smith of the Astros. Someone that was near to my heart was just drafted and last summer by my Chicago Cubs. But I got off to a super slow start. I think he was like 1 for his first 19 at bats or something like that. We're starting to turn things around now. He's currently slashing 211, 300, 380. Does have 3 home runs, 9 runs, 10 RBIs, 1 stolen base. He did have a multi-home run game. However, he's still striking out a ton. Probably too much, honestly. He's also had a lot of bad luck, though. He's only currently has a 261 BABIP right now. So he's not finding a lot of holes, which is probably what happened in the first half of that season or first half of the month. Right now, I'm still in on Cam Smith. I was out like 2 weeks ago. I was like, this guy's going to be sent back down. And now he's kind of, in the last 2 weeks, he's kind of put it together a little bit. Nothing spectacular, but I think for a rookie, it's nothing to be put your nose up to.
Yeah, he seems to be figuring it out. And that's really all. And I love that the Astros kind of gave him some grace and let him try and figure it out. Because just with such a bad start, the fact that he's already gotten his OBP up to 300 is fantastic. So I think we could see him really start to put things together in the next 6 weeks, and we can see the player he really is.
Yeah. Again, some of these guys is such a small, he was just drafted last year. He didn't even really play the minor leagues. So for him to be already up here and, making a contribution with the Astros is huge. And he needs to have a long leash for sure. Hopefully the Astros agree and they let him kind of play, which it seems like they have been. So good on them. Here's some guy that's got some buzz around him right now, especially from you. I think you had him as your NL Rookie of the Year, Dylan Cruz.
I did. And his start absolutely was dreadful, honestly. He was very bad to start off here. But he seems to be picking it up as of recent. And but as I just said with Smith, who also had a tough start, he got his OBP up to 300. Dylan Cruz still has an OBP of 260. So it's nothing that is fully there yet. But last week, he had a great week. I'm waiting on just more consistency here. And I got a comp today from someone. He said a little bit worse than Jarren Duran. And you know what? I think that's exactly where it is. His ceiling is Jarren Duran. Ideally, he meets that. But yeah, I don't think honestly, he could still win Rookie of the Year because no one's really running away with it in the NL. But we see here, he's still barreling the ball up. That the expected average is great. The expected slug is great. So the numbers are there. And I think he's again another 2 weeks away from us seeing that OBP get into the 320s, 330s, get that average up a bit, and just kind of letting it swing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it is just his approach to the play. He's only walking let's see, 3% of the time.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like pressing at the plate a little bit. I think once he gets settled in a little bit more and kind of gets a feel for the MLB pitching, I think we'll start seeing just from the walks alone, the OBP will get a jump. And the OBP is this low from that first 2 weeks of the season. The fact that he's had that slow of a start and he still has 4 home runs, 6 stolen bases, and 17 runs scored is awesome. He's only getting on base at 260 tick, and he scored 17 runs in the first month of the season. What's going to happen when he's getting on pace at like a 340, 330 rate? I mean, we're going to see the runs scored. The kind of similar to the Athletics. Washington's been sneaky fun to watch with James Wood, CJ Abrams, Dylan Cruz.
Awesome. Yeah.
They've been sneaky fun to watch. A lot of young guys out there to play. And I think you're right. I think he does still have a legitimate chance at the NL Rookie of the Year just because no one's really running away with it. And I love what I've seen out of Dylan Cruz. Again, it's hard to get down on some of these guys. That first 2 weeks of the season, it's like barely 35 degrees outside. And pitching dominates the cold weather. So I think as the weather warms up, you see a lot of these hitters start to warm up. It's just like it's been going on for the Tails' oldest time with this hitting. Once the summer goes on, the hitting gets better, the pitching goes down a little bit. So I'm all in on Dylan Cruz. I love this. Love to see I love what I've seen on him so far. And yeah, you should have put a futures on that. I don't know what it was at the time. Probably only like 6-1, but
it's probably better now, honestly.
It probably is. I'd have to look it up, but you're probably right. It was probably one of the favorites when we first were talking about it. All right, let's go here to our last guy. One of the big names lately right now that's been going around the fantasy baseball circles. That's Agustin Ramirez, catcher for the Marlins. Been a long time prospect. This guy was one of those J2 signings, been signed with the Yankees for, I don't know, maybe like since he was 16, but came over to Miami in the Jazz Chisholm trade last year. Really impressive to start the year. Through his first 6 games so far, he's slashing 391, 440. He's slugging 957. He's got a 582 WOBA and a 490 xWOBA. He's hit 3 home runs, 4 runs scored, 5 RBIs, and a stolen base. That just goes to show you all of his home runs have been solo shots. Unfortunately, he's on one of the worst teams in baseball in Miami, and nobody gets on base for him, and he also hits low in the order. So the RBIs and counting stats have not been there, but the quality of contact has been awesome for Ramirez. And this guy was someone that, like, for redraft purposes, was not on anyone's roster. And even for dynasty purposes, he was pretty far down the list. I mean, maybe some 2-catcher leagues he was on people's radar, but so far right now, he's been the topic of the town, or what, I don't know what the slang for.
That's very true, Jason. And you know what? I have a take. He's not going to be able to sustain these numbers.
Yes.
But they are wild. But yeah, I picked him up. I bid everywhere I could on him because usually catcher I'm pretty bad at. I think I picked him up and cut Kyle. Starts with an H. Plays for the Rangers, like Higasaki or.
Oh yeah. The old
I cut him because he was my second catcher. So I think that's an instant upgrade for me. Yeah, he's great. It's way too early to really have any real judgment on him, but yeah. I'm excited to see what he does moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it in perspective, I know it's like a small sample. It's 25 plate appearances. He doesn't qualify for anything, but look at this page.
Yeah.
It's fun to look at. It doesn't qualify. It won't, and they won't be able to maintain these numbers. But even the X slug, he's slugging 957. His X slug is 753. Yeah. He's barreling it at 19% of the time, which is just absurd. He's been super fun. I unfortunately don't have him in any of my leagues, both Dynasty and Redraft. I tried getting him off the waivers in a lot of redrafts. Unfortunately, he was going for like 25%. 25% of people's fabs like the 3rd week of April. So I just wasn't there on him yet, and I don't think he can sustain this. So a little too rich for my blood as far as a waiver wire pickup. But he's exciting. Unfortunately, the Miami Marlins are not. So that it's hard to turn on a Miami Marlins game to watch Agustin Ramirez when they're just awful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have a Beck's bet tonight. I don't know if I didn't really look at it. If you have any Knicks picks or not, but
I've got two for you. We don't have to play the music. I'll just throw it out. So this one starts in 1 minute.
Wait.
Perfect. So you can probably still get in on it because the Red Sox are away. We're going Garrett Crochet, 8+ Ks plus 250.
Love that.
That's crazy. And then just a bonus, Jason Tatum, 28+ points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a little Celtics sprinkled there.
Just a little hoop stock here on the on deck circle.
Yeah. Awesome, Nick. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week. We'll be back next week for another episode.